Welcome to Agent Voice, a platform designed to simplify the complex nature of voice agents that rely on advanced technology and concepts to function well. We have set out to make the process of creating and implementing these voice agents as simple as possible while being able to take advantage of some amazing cutting edge functionality. This platform will service businesses and individuals who could benefit from having a very intelligent AI agent working for their company. So now, let's take a look at the platform. Here we have our login page with multiple sign in and sign up options. Once we log in, on the left, we will have our sidebar that contains some different routes and pages that we could go to. First, we have our agents page. This is where we will be able to view and create new agents. Under that, we have our contacts. This is where we will be able to import and create new contacts that our agents will be able to interact with. We will be able to schedule calls. Once a contact calls in to a business or to an individual and speaks with one of your agents, it will automatically create a new contact if that contact does not already exist and append existing notes to that contact once it is created and the call has concluded. And there will be a bunch of other awesome functionality that gets added to these contacts and what we will be able to do with these contacts. Under that, in our accessories, we have our knowledge bases. This is where you're able to create amazing and powerful knowledge bases with just a few clicks. You get to name your knowledge base, you get to describe it. This is for your own accounting purposes in the event that you have too many knowledge bases to keep up with. And then once you scroll down, you have the ability to input URLs into this little URL bar, and that will process the website that you put in, and the AI will essentially learn every bit of that content that is inside of that website, and it will be summarized and it will be formatted in such a way that works best for the AI agent to use during a call. Under that, we have our documents that we can append to our knowledge base, and that is as simple as clicking in this field here and uploading a PDF, a Word document, a TXT file, anything along those lines. Under that, we also have the ability to upload audio files, and that being an MP3, an M4A, a WAV file, any of those would work. And the purpose of this is, let's say, a clear example would be a company that has a sales department would like to train their agent on a bunch of sales calls. This is a very easy way to just take those recordings and stick them right in here. And then the rest is taken care of. We have a system that transcribes it and then destructures it in a certain way to where it is most useful to this agent during a phone call for recalling and using it as a knowledge base. Here we have images. So this is where you can upload images, and this is mainly used for presentational purposes if you have a presentation like a PowerPoint or something along those lines, or just images that contain information or context around a certain topic or subject. This is a great way to use that information. All you have to do is upload that image and process it. And once again, everything is taken care of. It is completely processed and digested by our advanced system, which is quite an amazing accomplishment. There's a lot of flexibility with the data that we can integrate into these knowledge bases with some more fun tools on its way. We have some awesome AI powered learning systems. So this is something that automatically processes and is available to attach to an agent. And then we do have our smart processing, which is specifically crafted processing techniques to optimize the knowledge, meaning you can give a little bit of knowledge to an agent, but is there anything else we could have done to optimize that knowledge to be able to be used in the best way possible? So that is our knowledge bases. And so we can go back and view all of our knowledge bases. We have our scripts underneath of those. And so this is mainly for inbound and outbound purposes. So you can choose whether you want this script to be used specifically for inbound calls or outbound calls, because in certain companies, when you're calling somebody, you may have a different intention most of the time than if somebody was calling you. And typically you'll have different things that you say if you're getting an inbound call versus an outbound call. They typically serve different functionalities. And then we have an option for both if you're just trying to create a more generalized script to be followed by your agent. And so this is a very simple setup here. You just give it a name, again, for your own accounting purposes. If it is if it does take calls that are coming inbound, so that would be both or inbound, then we need to know what your conversation starter is going to be. So in this field here, all you have to do is simply put in, what you would like to say. Hey, I'm Alex from ABC Company. Here's what I was calling you about. So whatever it may need to be, and then you can provide a script here. So step by step, instruction manual on what it needs to say, how to handle certain scenarios, and our intelligent system does process this as well, making it a lot easier for you to simply just paste the script in here or quickly type one in. And then what's amazing about our scripts is we do have the abilities to set certain goals. And again, this is processed by our intelligent system, meaning if you put in a goal here, we essentially figure out the best way to integrate that through our systems to make sure that the agent is focused on getting those goals achieved. They are not a requirement, but an option, and you can set those goals. And once you've got that all set up, you're ready to rock and roll with your first scripts. Then underneath of that, we have our voices. So this is where you're actually able to see all the different voices that you can attach to your agents. Um, we do have some default voices that automatically come onto the platform that you do not have to add. But if you so wish to add your own voices, then we can simply just go to 11 Labs, which I already have set up on my account. And once we select 11 Labs, all you have to do is paste in your voice ID, and then it'll add it right here. And you're able to listen to it, and you're able to actually attach it to your agent, which is awesome. So these are our voices, and you're really able to stretch out. We have a lot of different providers coming, and we will be able to utilize a bunch of different technology for these voices. We do have GPT-4o real-time available, which is awesome. It's an amazing system. If you've ever used it before, it works really, really well at understanding audio. Here we have our call logs, which there are none listed yet. As soon as you make a call, it will show up here. It will show all the notes. It will show who called who, when the call happened. It shows a bunch of information relevant to that call and a live audio recording that will be attached to that as well. Under the calls, we will have our phone numbers tab, or page, I should say. And this is where you'll be able to actually create a number, and you'll be able to put in your own area code and simply find a number that works best for you. And it is as simple as 123. You simply just purchase the number. You get to use this number with all of your agents, and it's ready to rock and roll. And this number will be accounted for amongst all of your calls, which is as easy of a setup as it could be. Here underneath of our numbers, we get into our account section, which holds our billing and our settings. And inside of the billing history, we have the current plan that you are on, which you simply just need to click this manage subscription button if you would like to change your subscription. We also have, and these are not the accurate amounts, these are just set up right now for testing purposes. We also have our billing history here as well. This is where you're able to actually see all the different invoices that you've gotten from us and be able to account for that and download them as well, which is awesome. And here in the second tab, we have our usage tab. Inside of the billing and usage, you're actually able to see how many days are remaining left on your billing cycle. You're able to see how much talk time you've used up in your plan, how many AI agents you've used up in your plan, how many scripts you've used, all this amazing stuff, which if you go back to billing history and you hit manage subscription, it gives you a nice visual of which plans offer how much usage. So if you upgrade to this plan, you get this much more usage compared to these. So it's kind of an inline view, which helps you understand all the different perks of each plan. And if you wish to cancel, there's an awesome cancel subscription button right here in the bottom left. Now, if we head over to our settings, this is just simple information where you're actually able to integrate, change your name, your email address. This is where you're going to put in your Twilio information if you decide that you don't want to use one of our native numbers, and you can add your SID and your token and then simply just go over to Twilio and figure out what phone numbers you want to use and be able to use those, which would be really awesome. So that summarizes our platform from a high level overview. If we go into the actual details of how to create an agent, let's go ahead and walk through that real quick. So here I created this is our page for creating a new agent. And so the first thing that you are presented is a name. And again, this is mainly for accounting purposes, but your agent will refer to itself by this name unless you tell it otherwise in the instructions. So for this, let's just name it George for testing purposes. And this is just a test, but this is essentially where, again, for accounting purposes, you would describe your agent in the event that you have tons and tons of agents. You would like to know which ones you made for what purpose. And then once you've set your description, it's time to configure the actual intelligence behind your agent. So you get to choose a provider, which there are more to come. And for now, we'll select OpenAI, and then you can select any of the OpenAI models available. And then you can go to your voices, and again, there will be more voice providers to come. You get to select 11 labs and select any of the voices that you wish to use. Then down here, we will just, this is where you can provide your instructions, and you can essentially say, hey, this is your role, this is what you're supposed to be doing, this is the company that you work for, this is our address. This is where you actually put in the context and can be thought of kind of as a system prompt. Um, and for testing purposes and demonstration purposes, I will just put this as a test. And inside of the configure post call analysis box here, this is something that you don't have to do right now, but essentially what it's for is once the call is concluded, you can tell our system how you would like it to be analyzed. And this is the result will be attached to the call log that we saw in our calls page. So this is where you'll actually be able to see, for example, if at the end of every call, you wanted the AI to extract what the purpose of the call was it an inbound, was it an outbound, how did it go? Is this in relation to a particular product, et cetera, et cetera. And then eventually be able to extract awesome structured information out of it. For now, we'll leave it out. And we'll go ahead and create our new agent, which is as simple as just clicking that button, and bam, we're done. So now, if we want to edit our agent, all you have to do is just click on this little object right here. We have this actions button, which lets us edit the agent or delete the agent. For now, we're not going to be doing that because we're going to look inside of the agent modal here, which provides a lot of cool information. So you actually see the name. You can see that it is a test. This is all the stuff that we put in when we created it. Here's our configuration tab. So we have the ability to actually select the providers. And for both the LLM and the models and the voices as well, which is awesome. And then we have the ability inside of our configuration to choose a script, and we have the ability to choose a knowledge base. And so none of these things on the bottom are not required, the script and the knowledge base. However, if you decide to use them, it's as simple as clicking here, and then you will see all of the scripts available right here once you create them. And once you attach it to your agent will use it during the phone call. Once we go over to our call settings, this allows us to actually set a phone number to our agent. So anytime our agent makes a call, it'll use our outbound number. Anytime our number receives an inbound call, it will connect to this agent. So our agent will use this number to make the call, and then anytime somebody calls the number that you attach to this agent, it will connect to this agent. So these could technically be two separate numbers. That way it gives you a different kind of way to think about that. And then this is where our call analysis instructions are. So when we were creating our agent, I said that you didn't have to do this because this is something that we can do later. And if these are empty, it just won't do the analysis. And so simply, you just put in your goal here and the instructions, and it will produce an amazing result for you. Now, on the left, if we go over to our activity, you'll be able to see what your agent's been up to, how many calls have been made, how many inbound, how many outbound, and then it will show you right here all the call history with all of the amazing information that gets attached to the calls once they're concluded, meaning a live audio like playback. You get the time that it was done, to which number was called or inbound called in. So a lot of cool information there. So this is our agent modal. So you get to see a bunch of cool information about the agent. Now, if we go back to our scripts, I'm sorry, let's go back to our phone numbers. Let's go ahead and choose a phone number. So this is my area code. I'm going to hit view available numbers, and I immediately get a list of numbers that I can choose. And so I'm going to go ahead and choose this one here. Now, as you can see, once I selected this, it gives you information about the phone number. And then it tells you, it wants you to configure who handles the incoming calls for this phone number. You simply just click George. And now, anytime that a phone call comes in, it will connect to George. And it tells you some more information about this number. If you were to purchase additional numbers, that's what it would cost. Let's go ahead and confirm the purchase. And there we go. Now, once that's done, you have your number here, which will always stay here, and you can see which agent it is responsible for actually handling the incoming calls for this number. And at any point in time, you can go back and change it. Now, if we go back to our agents, if we go back to George, and we view our configuration, or I'm sorry, our call settings, you can see that our inbound number is now assigned to George. We can also do the same thing for the outbound number and save the changes. And there we go. Now, anytime we make a phone call with George, it will connect or anytime somebody calls that number, it will connect to George. So if we open this, we now have the ability to make a phone call. So you can do a phone call outwards if you just want to do a test or call somebody, and you can choose a script if you would like. This is through the actual, telephone systems. However, if you would just like to make a quick test call, there is this test call option right here, which opens this up. Again, allows you to choose a script and simply just click this start test call, and you will immediately begin to be connected with your agent, and you'll get to see how it interacts without having to actually use any systems, and it's very quick to test. So that is fun. And of course, you have your action bar here to delete the agents as well inside of the agent modal. Once we get set up, all of those records will be inserted into the calls. So you'll get to see how many calls you've been making and how long they've been, and all the amazing analysis and the results behind those that we get with those calls. So, yeah, that summarizes our platform and the amazing things that we can do with it, and all of the useful use cases in terms of what our agents can do and the amazing features that are coming their way as well. Um, and this is the summary of Agent Voice. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and if there's any questions, I would of course be happy to help out. Thanks, and have a great day.